Hey guys, Liz here. I am going to show you a really quick video on how I make my white cake recipe, how to mix it, how to make it fluffy and gorgeous and beautiful, and you can use it for sculpting cakes or stacking cakes or just eating fresh out of the oven, because I've never done that, ever. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this cake has been chilling for a couple hours, so it's nice and firm. I've sliced it in half and you can see the tight crumbs, so this is really good for carving and stacking. And you can see that I can just handle it with like one hand here, and it's totally fine. And what happens is the butter in the cake keeps it easy to handle and makes it nice and moist so that it's not dry and stuff. And so yeah, this is the finished version, and I'm going to show you how to make this. Okay, so here's my recipe here. We're doing vanilla cake, so don't ask me any questions about chocolate and that kind of stuff because we're just focusing on vanilla. So I'm doing a single batch, and I'm going to take all of my dry ingredients here and put them into my mixing bowl, and then I'm going to take my butter softened and put it into my mixing bowl with my dry ingredients, and then I'm going to take a separate bowl and combine my wet ingredients and whisk them all together. And I'm going to get those ready, and I'm going to pour it into my KitchenAid. And if you don't have a KitchenAid, you can use your hands, or you can do like a hand mixer or whatever. But I use a KitchenAid because this is what I do for a living. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, let's begin by mixing flour and combining butter. Okay, I'm adding in the butter and letting the butter and the flour mix on medium speed until it becomes crumbly. Sometimes that happens very fast, sometimes it takes a little bit. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's at the crumbly stage. Okay, that looks good. That took about a minute, and you can see that the flour is completely coated with the butter, and when I press it together it sticks in my hand. And this is important. If you do not let your flour get totally coated in the butter, you'll have really crumbly cake with bad texture. So now we're ready to start adding in our liquids. Okay, I have my liquids here, and they've been whisked and combined, and we're going to add these to the dry ingredients, and I'm going to add about I'd say 1/3 to half of the liquids first. This is going to be on low speed. I'm going to just add just until it's like moistened. About there. And it's making kind of this sucking noise. I'm going to turn it up to medium. Just keep letting it go. I know it seems weird. Okay. So you see how fluffy and white this is? It's really thick and it's really fluffy. And then this is the second most important step. If you do not let it get to this fluffy stage, your cake will be really flat and thin. So the first stage with the butter is very important, and then this stage with letting it fluff is very important. I'm going to scrape down my bowl and add the rest of the liquid. sure you scrape down your bowl at least a couple times while you're doing this. Otherwise you'll have little hard lumps in your batter, and that would be bad. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. Hard to do this one-handed. Continue mixing. Usually I have like a little bit of leftover liquid around the edges that I just kind of fold in. But you see how thick this is? If your batter is not thick like this, then you probably messed up one of the steps. So make sure your batter is nice and thick and you mix all of the steps, you know, correctly. I'm going to put these into the pans and bake them. I'm going to start off with 2 8-inch rounds. I'm going to bake those for about 25 minutes and check them and take them out when the toothpick is just got a couple of sticky crumbs on it. So this cake's going to go into the oven. You see how it's about 3/4 of the way full. I have a bad habit of overfilling my pan, so hopefully this is not too full. And into the oven, right next to the other one. Hopefully they'll be perfect when I take them out. Okie dokie. Cakes out of the oven. And got a couple little crummies stuck on there, and it's starting to pull away from the edge, and it almost overflowed. I told you I was bad at that. Put on my glove. Ooh. Don't drop my phone. All right. Stop. Okay. Holy cow. Okay. So the cakes are out of the oven and they start to flatten, but I will just flatten them a little bit right out of the oven so that I don't have to trim any of the top part of the cake off. And this does not hurt the cake. It does not hurt it in any way. It will actually be just fine. So I'm going to let these guys cool down, and then I'm going to flip them out onto the pan that I was banging around and making so much ruckus so that they can cool completely. And then I'm going to wrap them in plastic and put them in the fridge to chill before I start carving and stacking. But that's basically it, guys. So with the questions about mixing and how to make it work and all that stuff, now you know. So go make a freaking cake and make it beautiful and delicious and yummy. I wish you could smell this Mexican vanilla because it smells amazing. And I'm very much want to take a big bite out of this cake right now. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.